a moment since I've done a reading, so I'm very excited. What I have here are the cards that I have been led to use for your reading. What I'm missing is Moonology and this chakra deck, this mini chakra deck. Okay, so for those of you who want to know what the decks are, here they are. So take a snap. All right, awesome. Okay, so today we are now in May. We are in the throes of spring, and I thought that I would do a new moon and Taurus reading, which is supposed to happen on May 7th. And the topic is going to be this season and growing something that not just you, but that your ancestors would be proud of, because you will eventually become somebody's ancestor, right? So I have my little list here. I was directed to these decks, and with each topic. So there's going to be what is the root? What's the resistance, the resource? What's the wisdom and your ritual or reward? And then we'll pull in Moonology Oracle as well. So we've got that listed there. Okay. So I am going to start with this deck. So let me push that over there. So we only have the things that we need here right now. Okay. All right. So the question is, what is the root of what you're planting? What are you now in the beginning stages of? What is it that you're trying to grow? Okay. Thank you so much for, oh, you see that? Trust. You're trying to learn to be more, I think, listen to your guidance more, your direction, what you're being told, what you're hearing. Getting more in tune with the signs and signals that are being given to you. I'm hearing that there's a level of stillness that's required. Some of you are very, very busy. And that busyness, all that responsibility, the things that you take on, sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning. Look at that. I'm talking about being busy, and you're probably tired, and you're probably not getting enough sleep. But this is about you being successful in honoring what it is that you know. And learning to trust, or learning who to trust, or when to trust, or when to trust yourself. Okay, I'm going to grab this book because sometimes they have extra info. So it says here that this deer shows up to seek out a quiet spot for solitary or introspection. If you can be outdoors in the sunshine, all the better. With each breath, invite a sense of well-being to flood your body. Sink into your heart space for a check-in. And what does your intuition say to you about today's circumstances? It says here that a graceful, beautiful herbivore deer is equipped with extraordinary sight, hearing, and smell. So what I'm hearing for you just with that is to really dig into your senses. And I'm not really, when I say senses, I don't mean obviously, yes, you can smell, see, hear, touch, taste. Yes. And you have all of those, but these areas are going to be heightened for you at this time. You might see something or hear something that brings you back, right? Back to a certain time, a certain person, a circumstance, a situation, a person who you once were that either doesn't fit you anymore, or someone or something, or an energy, a vibration, uh, uh, um, a commitment to achievement that you've somehow, for some reason, strayed away from, and you're now trying to get back to. Okay. I'm also hearing it's about a way that you communicate this trust, how you embody it. I'm curious, as I'm speaking to you, is anything hitting you in a specific spot in your body? Like, are you thinking about your mind? Are you like, is your stomach starting to turn in knots? Is your heart palpitating? Are you feeling pins and needles anywhere? Uh, because if you are, that is an area, like it's pointing to an area where you're having difficulty or trouble trusting, or where there's been a challenge in this area for you. Okay, let's get back to the book. Okay. It says here, when she senses danger, she trusts herself and acts on it, exiting the situation through running, leaping, swimming. Also raises her tail, exposing the white underside to warn her herd. Even for bucks with their impressive antlers, fighting predators is generally a last resort. When no threats are detected, deers exude peace and contentment. So that's what you're trying to root right now. You're trying to root peace and contentment in your life, even though your circumstances might not convey that, might not show it, you might not feel it. You might be in something that feels like utterly ridiculous and hard to overcome and draining. And it right now you are rooting and learning to find peace and tranquility and to trust that you can have it. So this is what you're rooting in this season at this time. And that's interesting when we talk about rooting, because it's the new moon in Taurus. I'm not an astrologer, okay? But the new moon in Taurus, Taurus is earth energy. That's planting, that's earth, that's relationships, that's jobs, that's you learning to trust those physical entities is not the word, but that's what's coming to me. So I'm going to honor it. Entities, embodiments, and how you relate to that. Do you trust yourself in these different situations? Are the people that are in those situations with you trustworthy? Okay. That's your root. Now, for some of you, I'm hearing there's a level of resistance with trusting. And part of it could be, like it did say that deers have excellent vision. We just finished reading that. Now, they have excellent vision, but are you seeing properly? And seeing, I don't mean with your eyes, I mean with your spiritual gifts. I mean, are you hearing, smelling, noticing things differently? All those things are going to give you clues, insight, understanding. Okay. All right, resistance. Psychic tarot for resistance. Okay. Okay, dear God, we're asking about why is the viewer having resistance around trust. This is what they're growing. This is what they want. This is currently the cycle that they're in and what they need to learn. But what is causing them to resist? Why are they resisting this? This card. Obstacles and challenges. And that's interesting. Here they're walking. It's almost like they're walking towards peace. And again, this just for me reiterates what I was saying. What's interesting is that I'm seeing these things, these obstacles. I'm looking at these as Five of Pentacles, right? We were talking about being the new moon in Taurus, and it's an earth matter. There's a lot of emotion here. I'm believing this is water deep down below. One of the reasons why you can't trust is that there's an emotional barrier or a block or something missing in your emotional life. There's been some type of injury, but you are walking towards peace. You're learning to trust. Like when you see this big gap, I would assume that you're very high up. You're perched very high up looking down. And part of you is fearful of making a misstep for fear of falling back down here. And I'm meant to tell you that you're not going to fall. You're not going to fall. Don't let previous or current obstacles or challenges block your vision and prevent you from trusting the path and the process. Okay. Now, there is a resource for you. So the other day I was in the Wild Ones, right? So it's like a spiritual group where you have a membership, and we were doing this meditation, and I got a specific vision when it comes to chakras. And I'm actually going to build, I think I'm being led to build a deck off of that. And so I'm not going to like explain it all here, but I'm going to use this not necessarily as the card comes out, but I'm going to feel an energy as to what you need to do with a specific part of your chakra system. So we have here the root chakra. It's saying that your gem is the snowflake obsidian, and it's saying safety. This is so interesting. Trust, overcoming obstacles, bridging the gap, your vision, honoring what you know, trusting the process, even if it's not clear, knowing that you're safe. It says here safety. In the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. And you might not feel like you have a strong foundation because look, it's crumbling away. There's gaps here. You don't want to fall too deep. Like you feel that if you fall or succumb to whatever this is, you're going to have a super hard time getting out. It's really interesting. Now with regards to this root chakra, I want you to ask yourself, what are the things that you... Okay, I'm not to say that. I was going to say, what are the things that you're fearful of? But we're not to focus on what you're fearful of, because we're focused on what it is that you're building. What are the strong roots that you're building? So the strong root that you're building here is learning to trust that you are indeed safe in spite of the obstacles and the challenges that come up against you. I'm also hearing that you're not alone. Something I'm hearing to say is that if you do see a deer as you're going through your day, it doesn't have to be a real live deer. You might be going through a store or watching something on TV. But a deer and a dove is going to reinforce this message for you. Okay. I don't know. I'm still shuffling because my hands just need to be busy because there's nothing here I need to pull from. So we've got your root chakra. So let's get your wisdom. Oops. That's interesting. The card that fell out is Rejoice in Celebration, and you will be able to rejoice. So we're actually going to keep that card. All right. Let's get my dragon deck. Okay. Okay, I didn't get to ask my question, but I suppose I don't have to. I mean, Spirit knows what it is. This is crystal. This is number 19. If we were to do the standard tarot, 19 is the sun, so clarity, joy, celebration, happiness, healing, clarification. So let's see what the wisdom is for you with the crystal dragon. Okay, and just to see, this crystal dragon is part of the galactic dragons, and it's meant to aid us on the spiritual path to enlightenment or ascension through helping us to connect vibrationally with the planet and the universe. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Okay. So it says here, the beautiful and peaceful dragon's main role as a galactic dragon is to support all indigo and crystal children who have special and unusual abilities and traits, adults and those on the autistic spectrum. She's in fact named after the crystal children. She fully understands the complexities that can accompany these children and adults, so is here to support them and their families as much as possible. This dragon urges us to explore richness of talent in whatever area works for them. For example, it could be numbers, sports, art, music, pottery, or anything that allows the mind to unleash and creativity to flow. She understands that the classroom, with its restraints and rules of quiet and concentration, often does not work for these naturally inquisitive artistic souls. If Crystal has swooped into your cards today, she encourages you to add color, vibrancy, or shape to your life in any way you are drawn to do it. And the question here is, have you become too rigid in your thinking, your expectations, or your outlook on life? And if so, they're saying, let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of your life. Loosen any feelings of tension from your body and allow your mind to daydream. Let it explore new possibilities and find creative pursuits to free your soul. Our lives rarely flow along a straight route. They are always full of twists and turns. And this card goes on to say that you need to learn to follow the ebb and flow of the tide of your existence. Here on earth, struggle and resistance do not serve you. They simply frustrate and vex you. It says that as we do a job we hate or stay with a partner we can't communicate with, if it makes us unhappy. No, sorry. She's asking, why do you keep with a job that you hate or a partner that you can't communicate, knowing full well that it's making you unhappy? It's saying here to be true to yourself and to be authentic in your life and allow yourself to let go of all that doesn't bring warmth to your very being. You are being encouraged to follow your dreams and to live your joy and be open to new possibilities. Right? And that's where this trust comes in. And these obstacles, yes, it can be a partner, it can be a job. I already touched on it could be a variety of situations, relationships when I was talking about the new moon in Taurus, right? And that is the wisdom. By honoring yourself. I think for some of you, you might have difficulty honoring yourself and doing what you know you need to do, which might be a difficult thing. And that is what is causing the mistrust. That is where the discord is. That's where the disconnect is, because you are hearing what it is that you need to do, but you are fearful to do it because your vision is being skewed by the obstacles and challenges that you believe are there. And they very well could be there. But what you're being asked to do is not just rely on what your eyes are seeing, but to use your spiritual eyes, your spiritual senses, your sound, your touch, your taste. Use those things to guide you along. And you're not alone. And I think this card came out to help you to trust. Right? Again, a reminder, you're not alone. The dove. Okay. Let's get you a herbal card. Oh, what's this doing here? Oh my God. You know, this card belongs in a deck that I returned. I can't remember what the card was. I wasn't drawn to it, but this is travel and the card says restoration. That's pretty amazing. Holy. Let's put that there. Okay. So right now we're looking for what is your ritual, what is your reward to help you kind of reinforce this. Like what can you be doing? What can you be doing to assist you? What could you be doing to assist you? What herb can you offer them to help them through this time? Okay, please get my card to either reinforce trust, faith, hope, a reason to feel safe, to rejoice, to know that they are well on their way to restoration and healing. That yes, there is still a bit more time on this specific path, this journey, as we move into the new moon in Taurus. I'm hearing self-nurturing. When I look at this restoration card with the water, cleansing, eliminating, healing, preparing. And we are talking about this season and growing something. And so it's something that you need to water because there's going to be an abundance of that. There's so much overflow, like your cup runneth over. You just need to believe it. Okay. What can you give me, please? Rejoice and celebration. And there's so much like this, these urns are pouring into these cups. Can you see that? Like, I don't want to pick. If you don't want to give me something, I want the card to come out very clearly. So what can you give me? What makes sense for the viewer, please? What makes sense for the viewer? Do you want me to pause? You know what I'm hearing? Okay. Okay. I'm going to hold on to this deck. I'm going to use this one to pick one card for each sign. So let me put that to the side. I'm getting my Moonology messages deck instead for the time being. Okay, what is the reward for them? What is the reward? What is the reward, dear? Thank you so much. What is the reward you can expect? Okay. You know what? We can, I'll put that there. Okay. Boundaries, out of bounds, moon. And release the blocks. When I see this release the blocks, it just for me, obstacles and challenges. And that's what you're being asked to do. You're being asked again. I feel like I'm reiterating the same thing, but I think some of you really need to hear it over and over to accept what's being said to you. And it's that right now in the season, you're learning to root and create an abundance of trust based on the path that you're on. And it's necessary. It's necessary for you. The releasing the blocks is clear to me. And even when I look at this, there's just such a correlation between these two cards because you've got these orbs here, or pentacles, whatever you want to call it. And plus you've got this moon here, which to me is a replica of it. And then you've got this broken, I don't know, pathway or bridge, if you will. And again, here are, like, do you see what I'm saying? Broken, broken. So we're releasing things. Some things need to fall through. You will not be one of them. You will not be one of them. But there are definitely things that need to be released in this time. I'm going to refer to the book because sometimes they have dates or some kind of special timing. So I want to be able to give that to you. We're going to start with this boundaries one because element, is this in alphabetical order? I hope so. LMN, LMNO. There we go. Out of bounds. Okay. So it says here that you're unique and magical. Emotions are running high. Avoid overreacting. Draw a line under the past. Use your intuition more. Okay. It says, when your emotions spiral, you often chase away the thing that you want to attract. You're being encouraged to draw up some boundaries. It says it's time to take a full and honest inventory of your past behavior and recent events. Have you been going too far? I want to say to you, when I just first saw that first sentence, full and honest inventory, for some of you, you're afraid to do that full and honest inventory because you're not sure how you'll react. You're not sure if you can handle it. You're not sure if you're going to be able to take it. Some of us need to have a moment where we're actually coming to ourselves, because for some of you, being able to be fully honest with yourself and honoring your knowing, honoring what you know about yourself, honoring what you know about Peter, honoring what you know about Jane, your work, your life, where you want to be, the things that you're doing, not doing, things that you know that you should be doing and you're missing out. An honest conversation is required. And I think once you do that, for those of you who struggle with trust, that will start to strip away, help those blocks, challenges, unnecessary weight start to strip away, to allow you to, one, receive messages from on high, two, to confidently deal with the challenges that lay before you, and to give yourself a level of encouragement as you're going through this, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you're being nourished and cleansed and rejuvenated and renewed, and that there's restoration underway. It says here, when this card appears, don't let emotions overwhelm you. You could be about to receive what feels like a miracle, but you have to behave in a way that is supportive. This might require you to spend some time alone, right? Prayer, meditation, walking in nature, being barefoot, silence, stopping some of the music that you listen to, some of the foods that you're eating. For some of you, I just heard that you might want to concentrate on eating reddish foods, maybe red orange foods, because what is it? Root, and is it then sacral? Is that how it goes? Can't remember. And I don't have a little book with this. Let me just check something. Chakra, hold on. Yeah, okay. It's okay, so it goes root, then sacral, then solar plexus. And so if we were to look at this card, right, we can see that there is an abundance of red. And this has to do with like trust, which is interesting, actually. Interesting. I say that because like I just looked it up to make sure I was giving you the right order of things. And here on the site it's saying root chakra is just your basic trust. The next one up from it is sacral chakra, which is a bit of orange. And this has to do with your creativity and your sexuality. I think I need to give a trigger warning right now. Maybe I should put that up here. Let me type. Sorry, I'm just learning to use StreamYard, and bear with me. Bear with me. For some of you, your childhood was not safe and secure. For some of you, you were, I'm going to say, interfered with. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just because we're on this channel. Some of you were interfered with, and that is the root, that is the reason for why you have that mistrust. And that's completely understandable. I do want you to know that it's okay to get help. And for those of you who, I don't even know. Listen, I'm going to give you the message as I hear it, but I'm questioning what I just heard. But what was said to me was, for those of you who've not been able to forgive, that might be part of what is disturbing your peace. And I don't mean forgive for their benefit. I don't mean forgive because it's in any way your fault. I just mean as a way of releasing the obstacles and challenges for you, for your benefit, you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. if you find yourself, this is specifically to the people with the sacral chakra challenge, your boundaries have been violated. So it's really important to create new ones. Okay. You need to create new ones. Yeah. Okay. So I said when I was doing this deck, I was hearing that I should pull a card for each sign. Or like like a card for each sign. And so what this is supposed to be, this is supposed to be your ritual. So there's a couple of takeaways here that I want you to catch on to. One of them is signs. I said to you, if you see a deer or a dove, pay extra fulsome attention to this. The other is to know that you're not alone. The third is that things must fall away. You are on a path that requires your trust and ability. The fourth is forgiveness. For whatever part you think you had in this, forgive yourself. Release that burden. The fifth part, create new boundaries. Okay. And the last piece that I'm going to give you, or I think it's the last piece unless I'm told otherwise, is I'm going to pull a card for each sign. And so I'm giving you a very specific instruction here. Let me type it here. So okay. All right. So what I want you to do here is I'm actually going to pull a card for each astrological sign, but I don't want you to do it the way everybody does it. So what does that mean? So let's say that you are let's say you have your moon is in Taurus. Is that a good example? Look, what I want you to do, let me rephrase it. I want you to find, as I said, where Taurus is in your chart. Okay. And then once you find it in your chart, I want you to see what house it is in. Right. So you could have Taurus in, I don't know, you could have Saturn in Taurus. Right. Or you can have Saturn in your fifth house or your seventh house or your eighth house. I want you to find where Taurus is right now for you and the house that it's in, and then utilize this card that I'm going to pull for your sign to help you navigate that right now. So there's like two messages here. You're learning to trust, you're growing trust, but what you're trusting in is going to be found where Taurus is in your chart and the house that the Taurus is in. I hope that's clear. That's the best way to give it to you. Okay, so let me do this. So we are going to, I'm going to close this. Oh no. Okay, sorry. I thought I closed the StreamYard window. Okay, so what we are going to do, so I can close this and I can minimize this window and then I'm going to go like this. Okay, so we are going to, just because it's going to be a new moon in Taurus, we're going to pull a card for Taurus. Give me 1 second. I want to see if I can. Taurus. If I put that, will it show? Okay, good. Oh, okay. I'm getting the hang of it. So this part is specifically, this card is for Taurus. And Taurus, your thing says go to Kola, which says higher consciousness. So when you look for Taurus in your birth chart and you look for the house that Taurus is in, you're going to need to have higher consciousness in this area. Okay. So that's number 17. 17 is the star card. And I'm just going to pick out some highlights here because I've now got 12 signs to go to. All right. So it says upright. It is the Hermit. It is solitude. Let me hold it for you so you can see. It is the Hermit, solitude, soul searching, realization, greater knowing, and enlightenment. It says that this plant has been used in India for focus, cognitive function, overall mental performance, and creating a harmonizing effect. It was used to relax the nervous system, repair nerve trauma, reduce stress and anxiety. This is a rejuvenating herb, which is interesting. It's a rejuvenating herb, and it is meant to help restore the function of balance and nourish many aspects of the body. This card, like Go to Kola, is ruled by Mercury and Uranus. It's also called the herb of enlightenment. It says here that you are moving through undiscovered pathways of the subconscious mind with precision, and you're guided by the light of the northern star, and that you're moving to a higher stage of being. But if you are experiencing a sense of loneliness and living in a reality where deep truths have been denied, it's time for introspection because you are going through a transmutation. And you're being asked to invoke your higher consciousness every day and leap into the portal within. Okay? So that is Taurus. And I think what I'm going to do, not to say that, and if you want to go deeper, then I suggest you look and see where Mercury and Uranus are sitting in your chart right now as well. Okay? If you want to go deeper. I'm just trying to decide, do I want to put this card back in the pile, or is everybody, maybe going to have their own separate card? Okay, I'm here to put it back in the pile. So that's what I'm going to do. So that was Taurus. And then we're going to move to Gemini. Okay, Gemini. All right, Gemini. Can I have a card for Gemini, please? Gemini, you're going to see where Taurus is in your chart and what house Taurus is sitting in your chart right now. By the way, let me clarify that. Not when you were born, where it is right now with your transits. So sorry, let me make an adjustment here. Find where Taurus is in your chart right now. Right now. Right now. Okay, there we go. Save and show. All right, great. All right, so now we're doing Gemini. Can I please have something for Gemini? What does Gemini have available to them as a ritual to assist them as they prepare for this new moon in Taurus? What do they have? What is available? What can you share? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate these timely, important, potent messages that will help people as they go through. And I'm just, even as I do this reading, I am of like a mellow energy right now. My voice is kind of quiet. I'm not, oops. I'm going to take the first one. The first one that fell out. Okay. So it is number 35, and that is horsetail. So let's see what that means for you. That reduces to 8. 8 is strength if you want to use it in that fashion. Okay. It's patience. So upright, it's endurance, steady focus, period of gestation, trust the process, heightened sensitivity. So it says when you cross paths with a horsetail, you're looking at a member of the sole surviving genius of a once great lineage. This is a primitive plant from the time that dinosaurs walked the earth. It has been used for food and medicine and cooking with it. It's like a raw vegetable, or you can chew it in the springtime. This is supposed to strengthen connective tissues such as skin, hair, nails, bones, teeth, cartilage, ligaments. So perhaps for you, you're going to be focusing on your health. Again, I'm not a doctor, right? Not a physician or a naturopath or any of that. If you feel that you are having any of those challenges, seek the great physician and seek your doctor, okay? It says here that this was referred to as a bone mender, and it helped with broken bones, fractures, and osteoporosis. It says that horsetail is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is the strengthening of the skeletal system and connective tissues. And when I said focusing on your health, I specifically saw weightlifting. That's what I specifically saw. I'm not talking about cardio, running, walking, Pilates, yoga. It was specifically weight training and lifting heavy weights. Okay. It says here that strengthening the skeletal system and connective tissues promote wound healing, hair growth, skin protection, bone strength, and they are all ringed in the planet's domain. It corresponds with minerals in the body and the kidneys. And Saturn provides protection, shielding, courage, endurance, patience, self-control, and blessing. Okay. It's also teaching you that the power lies within, and endurance is gained by hitting blessings of what? It says challenges here. Wow. It says things might not be clear in the moment, but time will reveal itself. And again, that allusion to time here, because I said there's more time on the path for you. It says stubbornness and willfulness are counterproductive, and that's where the need for trust comes into play, right? Because there are times when we can be our own obstacle, our own hindrance. It says to ground to the earth, which we talked about earlier, and to use the earth's energy to survive and adapt to any hardships. This is meant to give you heightened sensitivity and the purity of trust as essential tools to have while we endure challenge and hardship. Again, right? And for you to release the blocks, not be stubborn, go through it, trust, have respectable, reasonable boundaries. Okay. And while you're going through it, have patience. I really like this. Honestly, I do like this. I do like that everybody is getting their own message. So that was Gemini. Okay. Let's do Cancer now. Okay. Can I please have a card for Cancer? Okay. All right. Cancer got cat's claw, which is purification. Okay. Purification for cat's claw. Let me just change this. So again, what I want you to do is to remember You're going to find where Taurus is, not at your birth time, but now. Where is Taurus now in your chart? Okay. And then you're going to look to see where it is in what house Taurus is in for you right now. And then you're going to apply this to that. So cat's claw, purification, 25, reduced to 7 is chariot. Okay. Cat's claw. All right. That Venus, I don't know. All right. So here you go. It says rewriting the story, connecting to heritage, belonging, connecting to your origins, DNA purification. And your astrological signs are Mars and Pluto. You may also want to look and see what sign, what planet Mars and Pluto are in for you right now. Okay. Okay, so this was used for treating asthma and inflammation of the urinary tract, arthritis, bone pain, recovery from childbirth, and cancer. Indigenous tribes also use it for diabetes, hemorrhages, menstrual irregularity, fevers, viruses, tumors, internal cleansing, and balancing the body. Modern science says it's effective for asthma, upper respiratory infection, viral infection, wound, environment, toxicity, poisoning, and so much more. This is a powerful stimulant, and it is ruled by Mars and Pluto. Okay. It's involved in many biological processes, such as the immune system, remedying inflammation, rebalancing the body, renewal, and it stimulates to regulate and confront and purify and initiates healing. It says here that darkness is the place for seeking and finding answers and for accessing the hidden light of truth. It says Black Panther teaches us how the journey within is encoded with information for healing. Small-mindedness, shame, disappointment, unworthiness are shadowy aspects inside, but do not succumb to them. This is the second card that's talking about befriending silence. It's talking about channeling mastery that is within your shadows and to not hold back. It's really interesting. So what I feel from this is that you, Cancer, might be going through it at this point a little harder than the other ones, but for with good reason, I'll say. And again, I just want to reiterate for you, safety, patience. You are going to come through this victoriously. Okay. The next sign is Leo. Leo. Okay. Sorry, let me get. Oh, I don't have anything left in here. Nope. Can I please have a card for Leo? What does Leo need right now as their ritual? What do they need to remember? Okay. A card for Leo, please. A card for Leo, please. A card for Leo, please. I just wanted to, I don't know, that Rosemary card caught my eye for some reason, but can I have a card for Leo? Leo. A card for Leo. Leo? Is there a card for Leo? Show me a card for, whoa. Okay, I'll only take from here. New card for Leo. Card for Leo. I need a card for Leo. Oh, what do you want Leo to know? Okay, look at that. So interesting. Tobacco, right? Fire, because Leo is fire. And there's smoke. So tobacco has to do with offering. 4 and 6 reduced is the lovers. Okay. Let me read that to you, Leo. It says here, is the card ripped or is that? Anyway. It says offering, divine gift, invocation, respect, deep alignment with will and purpose. The astrological rulers are Mars and Pluto. So again, look to see where Mars and Pluto are sitting in which house in your chart now, not your birth chart now. Okay. It'll be your transit. So it says here, this was used amongst the indigenous to offer to the gods for smoke cleansing and to the spirits, and at council meetings, it was ceremonial. Okay, maybe some of you vape. I don't want to like preach to you, or some of you might do weed or whatever, but your lungs were not designed for that. I'm just gonna say that. Okay. So this is a this plant, it's the key is protective spirits and important allies and guides in the healing of humanity. Different tribes use it ceremonially. It says here that they would smoke tobacco through a pipe. Others use it for ailments such as earache, snake bites, cuts, burns, respiratory disease, fever, convulsions, nervous system, urinary complaints, skin disease, and parasites. Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit given to humanity to enable communication to the world. It has been used to seal peace amongst tribes. The gods of power are here to serve, and they demand love and respect. We're to use power compassionately and offer your actions as a divine gift. It says grandfather tobacco's protective and powerful energy lovingly opens the doorway to the spirit world to those who ask with humility and respect. And for you to not be seduced by power and destructive behavior and addictive tendencies. So remember at the beginning of your reading, I said, if you are doing this once in a blue moon, ritualistically, fine. But if this is a constant, all the time addiction thing for you, see what kind of assistance you can get with that, okay? All right, who's next? Virgo. Virgo. All right, Virgo, you're up. Okay, so can I please get a card for Virgo? Card for Virgo. What does Virgo need for their ritual and reward? What does Virgo need? Give me a card that speaks specifically to them. Okay, I'm only going to take the first card. Okay. So your card is Valerian and it says acceptance, which is interesting. So I'm just looking at, because I'm looking at this rat, and this is like a, what do you call it? A mortar? Is it mortar and pestle or something like that? Valerian acceptance 44. And also, as I read these numbers to you, that's another clue for you, okay? 44. Sorry, let me find it. It's just easier. Okay. Okay, there you go. It says here, intuitive order, loosening up, acceptance, embrace your imperfections and persistence. Okay. Valerian was placed in wedding clothes of the groom to ward off the envy of the elves and to protect marriage. Ancient physicians call this plan, I don't know if they're saying phooey, like PHU or poo, but it references smelly old socks, and it's used as a heal all and for cut fingers. It means to be strong and healthy. It's also used by the window to repel spirits and protect the home from lightning. It's a ritual tool, promotes peace, provides purification, breaks hexes, enhances stability and happiness. It improves sleep, alleviates insomnia, exhaustion, fatigue, and pain. Again, I'm not a doctor. Speak to your doctor about these things. Speak to the great physician. Okay. This relaxes the body and the mind to experience deep states of rest and sleep and even access other worlds. This is the second group to get that accessing of the spiritual world as a bridge, as a way to cross over. I think perhaps Smoke, the one before this, I want to say it was Cancer, have the same thing. It says here that the ruler of the planet is Neptune, so I would also encourage you to look and see where Neptune is in your chart, right? See where Neptune is in your chart and what house it's residing in. It says that Neptune is the planner of dreams and other realms, the subconscious mind, the psychic mind, imagination, and a fundamental connection to spirituality. And it helps us to abandon the story that keeps us bound to one reality, right? This releasing of blocks, and allows us access beyond our physical body into a greater mystical reality. It says it helps you to widen your trigger points and to zoom out of a situation that could overload you with anxiety. The message here is for you to go easy on yourself. Don't push too hard to meet your goals. It helps to remedy parts of yourselves that can have mouse energy, where you're overly analytical and judgmental. It says, don't exhaust yourself in the details, but embrace your imperfections. Okay, who's next? Libra is next. One moment. Okay. Give me a second. I'm just updating here. Libra. Save. And we want this one. Okay. Okay, Libra, you're up. Please have a card for Libra. It's pretty. A card for Libra, please. A card for Libra. A card for Libra, please. A card for Libra. Can I please have a card for Libra? A card for Libra. A card for Libra. A card for Libra. Some signs are just longer for a card to show up. I don't know why that is. I have a card for, oh man. Okay. All right. We're going to go with this one because that's the one that was up. And this one is number 22. And it says Jurgon Sasha. So there's a tower here. Wow. So this is like the tower card. This, I mean, I don't know if this is a snake or some kind of weird flower plant tulip. But anyway, your thing is transfiguration. So there's going to be unforeseen change, breakdown, transfiguration, poison transmuted, evil neutralized, rising from the ashes. So its molted coloring calls to mind a poisonous snake native to the Amazon. Local villages use the starchy root as an anti-venom. In Peru, the snake and the plant are called Jurgen Sasha. In Brazil, it's called Jararaca herb. This is used in many rituals to protect against sickness and evil, and protects you against black magic sorcerers. It's considered a neutralizer of the highest order and converts any intended harm coming your way to intense evil into benevolent energy. So again, we're talking about that safety, that trust, that protection, this crystal spirit of the dragon, of you not being alone, and that harm will not come to you, that you will rejoice. Oh, my family's from Guyana. It says here, indigenous tribes in Guyana have employed it as an antidote for stingray wounds, spider bites, poison dart and arrow wounds. Some believe that beating the legs and feet with the leaves act as a snake repellent. It's an anti-venom. It's an antiviral for asthma, lung inflammation, whooping cough, parasites, menstrual disorders. It helps those with gout, arthritic pain, and similar imbalances. It neutralizes the strongest poisons and protects the body. And it falls under Mars and Pluto rulership. So again, I say to you, see what house not only is your Taurus in, but also what Pluto and Mars are in for you. Okay. There's radical change that'll be taking place. And the darkest energies that bring crisis or unforeseen changes can be transmuted. Even the strongest poisons can be a medicine. So your first step is to recognize it. Your second step is to remove fear and anxiety, and then reconstruct yourself, which is interesting because we've got restoration here and transfiguration here. And it says, draw upon universal forces to transmute the environment, people, or situations that might be depleting your life force. I sound like my life force is depleted, honestly. I need to, I think, eat something to get my energy back up. Okay. We are now going to Scorpio. Okay. All right. Can we please have a card for Scorpio? Scorpio. Scorpio. Am I upside down? Why are these upside down? Scorpio, please. So for those of you who have your Taurus in The sign of Scorpio right now. What am I saying? That makes no sense. Your moon. Look for, what am I saying? I'm getting tired. Okay. Look for where Taurus is in your current chart, right? Not your birth chart, your transit chart. Where is Taurus in your chart right now, and what house is it in? Because that's how we're doing this reading. We're not doing it based on, oh, my sun, moon, rising. Oh, which one? I'm going to take this one. This one hit down first because these two are on top of it. Okay. So this is Scorpio. Scorpio, oh, we're getting horsetail again. Who had horsetail the first time? I can read through this fairly quickly. I can't remember who it was. Number 35. Horsetail, this has to do with patience. Enduring steady focus, period of gestation, trust the process, heightened sensitivity. This primitive plant lived around the time of dinosaurs. It was used as a native food and for medicine. It strengthens your cognitive tissues such as skin, hair, nails, teeth, bones, cartilage, ligaments, osteoporosis. It heals broken bones and fractures. It's ruled by Saturn. So see where Saturn is in your current chart. So you want to look up transit, okay? It says it takes care of promoting wounds and it heals. It deals with kidneys. It provides protection, shielding, patience, self-control, the blessing of challenge. Challenge again. Obstacles, challenge. It teaches self-mastery. And you're going to need to have self-mastery in setting boundaries, having trust of yourself, and learning to release blocks that can actually be a hindrance to you overcoming these obstacles, okay? It talks about trusting the process, and stubbornness and willfulness are counterproductive to loosening the knots. Maybe some of you need to go and get a massage, to be honest. And it helps to ground your energy as you survive and adapt to changes and hardships that will take place on the journey. It says it's the purity of trust as essential tools that you have to endure during challenges and hardships. So again, just reiterating that. Horsetail. And if you want to know who had horsetail, if you go to one of the first three signs, it was somewhere up in there, I'm pretty sure. Okay, who's next? Capricorn. Capricorn. All right, can I please? Can I get a card for Capricorn, please? Capricorn. Capricorn, what do you want me to share with them? What does Capricorn need to know? When they find the house that Taurus is in there, oh my God, you know what? It's horsetail again. So I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, go back to either the Scorpio. Oh, I totally skipped Sagittarius. Anyway, this is Capricorn. So go back to Scorpio or find it in the first three readings, okay? Because this is the third time it's coming up. I could take it out, but the thing is, this card will mean different things to different people because your birth chart is not going to be the same as your transit chart, and you might not have Taurus in the same house, and you won't have the same planets in that house. So it's really necessary. It's necessary, honey. So you just go to that other one. Let me do Sagittarius. I'm so sorry. Oh, up. Hold on, Sag. Sagittarius. Save. Show. Okay. I'm gonna leave it in. I'm hearing I need to leave it in. I don't want to change it now. I'm going to leave it in. Instructions very clear. All right. What do we have for Sagittarius? A card for Sagittarius, please. A card for Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, please. It better not be Versailles. I need a card for Sagittarius, please. Okay. Give me a card for Sagittarius, please. Valerian. We got that. We got that. Do you want me to? Okay. I'm not going to read Valerian because I did that already. If you go back like 3 readings, you'll find it. But I will read Pau Darko, which is Metamorphosis for Sagittarius. So that is number 7. 7 is Chariot. Okay. Says here that it's discovery through darkness, transcendence, the knowing, transcendence of the known, unearthing fear, nonconformity, and breaking cycles. That's great. And this is ruled by Moon and Pluto. So this is supposed to be one of the most beautiful trees on Earth. With over 100 varieties, it's been used medicinally through tribal people throughout Central and South America. The lining of the bark, boiled for a long time and consumed like coffee or tea, has many qualities that fall under the Moon and Pluto's domain. It could be a blood tonic, digestive imbalances, menstrual irregularities, malaria, anemia, colds, flus, fungal infections, respiratory, cancer, arthritis, and a lot more. Again, I'm not a doctor. Don't go running out and drinking this. Okay. It says the Incas and other groups lived miles apart, but they use this medicinal purpose for hundreds of years. Many tribes use its wood to make hunting bows, utensils, all sorts of tools, believing that it gave a lot of blessing and strength. It means the tree of heaven. This was a great protector. La Pocha is one of the great protectors of the sacred, and she's welcoming you in. So La Pocha would be this green woman here. And embodies one of the faces of the dark goddess in her mighty splendor. The dark goddess is multifaceted, challenging belief systems, frailties, weakness, and testing our strength. Like Pluto, La Pacho demands you rebel against the ignorance of the old self and learn paradigms that inhibit the splendor of your self-expression. Her mighty darkness provides the tools to rebuild ourselves anew, triggering instant metamorphosis. And so your metamorphosis is in the overcoming of challenges and releasing the blocks. Like these cards are the same for everybody, but the application and where this energy is residing and the house it's residing in and the planets that are being affected or affecting you at this time is different for everybody. And that is what is so amazing. Like this is not a personal read, right? I think I have in the ticker, how you can get one. It's one of 3 levels, right? It says here, trust and step in. You are being guided. Again, it's talking about not fearing the unknown. It's talking about the cosmic womb, right? And just one small thing that you do can trigger that metamorphosis, that change for you. That's lovely. And honestly, when I see this, I hope I don't get in trouble. I totally forgot about this nudity rule they have. This looks like this could be a uterus, but I feel like, when they have the cow skull, but also for some reason, this reminds me of Aries, but Aries is not one of the signs here, right? What is she holding? A face, a mask. Okay. And it looks like she's pregnant. Like you can be in the process of working on a new business. You've got new ideas, things that you want to do. And so you could be pregnant and full with that. Oh, that's so interesting. Are you looking at this? Like, there's a lady lying on the floor. It's all, oh my gosh, it's a shedding of one's old self. So what you want to do, Sag, is see where Taurus is, which house Taurus is in right now, and then also see what planet the moon is in and Pluto for you. Okay. We are now going to go to Aquarius. Let me edit this. AQUARIUS. Let's save it and show it. Okay, awesome. All right, so please give me a card for Aquarius. My Aquarians, please give me, I need to rephrase that. Please give me a card for those that have like the Aquarius people, find what house Taurus is in. And then I'm also going to give you a couple other planets to look at for you to apply some of this information, okay? Aquarius. No? Come on, give me a card for Aquarius. Come on, Aquarius. Aquarius doesn't want a card. It's coming, it's coming. Okay, 3 fell out. We're going to take the bottom one. Arnica, teacher. That's so pretty. She's mixing up her herbs. She's in the mountains. She's in nature, under her tent, with her candle lit. This is really nice. The number is 33. Okay. So Arnica is teacher. The ruler is Saturn. So hold on, sorry. There we go, Aquarius. It says loyalty, commitment, perseverance, teacher, stability, companionship, community, and a unique path. This is known as Daisy Mountain, Wolf Banes, Leopard's Bane, and Mountain Tobacco. Arnica grows abundantly in alpine meadows in Europe and North America. It was used as an external treatment for black eyes, sprains, contusions, uterine hemorrhages, heart and artery issues, and numerous other applications. Partly because ingestion is shown to cause severe liver damage, internal bleeding, topical applications have proven most effective in assisting in tissue regeneration. It stimulates a lot of blood flow and allowing it to rapidly relieve pain and swelling. And it helps in healing bruises and hematomas. Okay, old tales describe how Arnica was planted at the corners of the field during the summer solstice to protect from evil field spirits. Other folks describe the use of Arnica on and around the solstice when it bloomed, and using the plants to trap corn wolf, rye wolf, and grain wolf spirits, preventing them from leaving until the grain was ready for harvest. It has bone healing properties and falls under Saturn's rulership. And it supports energy to heal and mend after trauma. All right, Pisces. Oh, what did I do wrong? Save. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we're doing Pisces. Okay. Well, I have to take this in reverse because that's how it came out. So this is 16. Isn't 16 the tower? I think so. So this is Makuna. There's a rainbow, a pot, herbs. Okay, so 16 in reverse. You're the first reversal. You are the first reversal. So this has to do with journey. So again, find where Taurus is in your chart now, like today, not when you were born. Find the house that it's in. And then also look where these planets I'm about to mention you are located. So the Mercury and Uranus, see what house those are in. Okay. It says here in reverse, it's choosing comfort, lack of trust in the unknown, resistant to change, releasing blocks, lack of spontaneity. So the large velvet beans, oh my goodness, get out. These are also known as Nescafe, like that's coffee, have been roasted and ground to make a coffee substitute for hundreds of years, but the plant was used in traditional healing remedies for thousands before that. It's used to treat parasites, stress, anxiety, rheumatic disorders, menstrual issues, diabetes, even cancer. In India, it's considered an aphrodisiac, menstrual promoter, uterine stimulant, nerve tonic, blood purifier. In traditional Chinese medicine and Taoist herbal tradition, it's known for having an effect on the brain, nervous system, hormonal systems. It's believed that Jing leaks as we age or suffer a lot of stress, but plants like Makuna replenish it. Human growth hormone, raising testosterone levels. And it's ruled by Mercury and Uranus. It ignites the pineal gland, which is known as third eye or the seat of the soul. It energizes and activates the subtle pathways in the mind body, becoming one of nature's greatest conscious enhancing plants. So it says here that you might be in a state of tradition about how to leave a familiar territory and initiate a new journey. Something in your gut is telling you it's time for a shift, to enter a new physical space or field of awareness. The powers of both Mercury and Uranus often appear as spontaneous opportunities that match your spirit's frequency. The overwhelming rush of emotions that rise before big opportunities is signaling opportunities for growth. While the waters might seem turbulent at times, the sea of opportunities ahead will be tranquil. Let go of whatever is holding you back, release blocks, be it from the past or present, and hold your gaze steadily into your future self. Again, this gaze. At the very beginning, when I was doing the general reading, it talked about the trust and the great vision that a white-tailed deer has. Okay. All right. And then the last card is going to be for Aries. Sorry, that's my son gaming. All right, let's show that. Okay, very good. Last one. Last one is Aries. Oh, okay. If you want to know about Arnica, you can go back. I think it's 2 readings ago. If you want to know that one. So I'm not going to read that one. I'm going to read. I don't know which one to read, actually. Give me a second. So this is Aries. Okay, I'm going to do community. Hold on. Aries. Aries is. Okay, Google, is Aries a fire sign?
On the website today.com, they say the 3 fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, are the sparky firecrackers of the zodiac, lively and gravitating for the center of attention.
All right, that's why I asked, because there was a line. Because there's a line here, leadership, 1 and 8 is 9, is hermit. And so we're going to read this one. This is the last one. So 18, but 18 is also the moon. Okay, so lion's mane, leadership. Can you see that? No. There. All right. So sacred, masculine, leadership, ambition, provider, strong-willed, spiritual power. The astrological ruler, Mercury and Uranus. So lion's mane has been used as food and medicine for over 2,000 years. They use it as a tea to enhance focus and brain power during meditation, to combat, I think I say ki, which is your life force deficiency, nurture the liver, spleen, lung, heart, kidneys, nourish the gut, fight cancer. It's a nutrient-dense fungus and it has many healing properties. Stimulates the growth of neurons in the brain and helps neurological conditions. Assists with cognition, memory retention, and mental performance. I feel like you've got a big project coming up. It's a messenger of the gods. It's a communicator, represents brilliance and intelligence and free flow of energy, and it's governed by the sun. And it's greater provider of vitality, it's a great provider of vitality, longevity, resilience, and adaptability. This is a symbol of power, the sacred masculine, relentless determination, ambition, focus, and will. When out of balance, vanity and overconsumption block the flow of love. Release the blocks. You are a wielder of raw power and may be destructive if consequences are overlooked. Lead your life from a place of compassionate leadership, and the rest will follow. And that's it. I have to tell you, I did not expect the reading to be this long. It's an hour 28. I'm really trying to keep them 20 to 30 minutes because I want everyone to get as much as they can out of it, but sometimes people don't have the time for it. So I'll do my introduction as I've done. There's a general message. And I was really led in that moment to give each sign its own specific message for this time as you prepare to grow what's next, create what's next for yourself. I trust that you got out of this what you're supposed to. And I apologize for my voice or my energy level. But then I'm also hearing I don't really have to apologize. But I'm normally a lot more hype. I think I'm just hungry. Or I'm just in my earth energy and a slower energy, right? So I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Know that if you want, you can definitely book a reading with me. You'll see the information below. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you again soon. And actually, I might even put together a just a little thing that you can download to assist you during this time, okay? So give me a little bit to create it, and there might be something there for you. Talk to you later.